This
It's VH1 podcast with Simon and Julian.
I'm Julian.
And I'm Simon, and today we're going to inform you about a problem that many of you might know about, but don't even recognize at first thought.
We're talking about electronic waste, which might seem to many of you as no problem at all, because let's be honest, when was the last time you have seen electronic waste at your own front door?
Probably not in ages. Maybe my old dusty computer would be the case, but people who live near the coast in developing countries will say differently about it.
Have thought about the fact that the beach you're visiting on your holiday vacation is cleaner than Simon's unworn underwear?
Thanks man, I'll remember that. Anyway, that is because there are funny looking constructed machines who clean them from time to time.
Wherever in other countries such machines are not used, which result in heavily destroyed environment around the beach. Alluvias, such as plastic, trash and also electronic waste, threaten the life of local residents.
So now Julian, I know where all the stuff is going on, but where does all this crap come from?
Let me return the question to you. Who do you think is capable of having such massive electronic waste?
I don't know. Could be my grandma who loses her huge phone all the time she leaves the house.
Oh, you mean the one with the Hello Kitty pin on it?
Oh, of course.
Well, while it is true that we as a part of society produce our own part of e-waste, it is still nothing compared to the big industry, which dumps tons into the ocean or elsewhere and don't recycle it at all.
Very interesting. We have prepared an interview with an Indian resident who works at a recycling factory. But before we let you to hear the interview, we're going to drop 5 facts about electronic waste.
Number 1.
Did you know that the average person keeps their smartphone only 18 months before dumping it and buying the newest iPhone and Co just to be back on track of modern society?
Number 2.
If we're talking about iPhone, you should also know of the planned obsolescence, which haunts most of our products that we buy.
Number 3.
Of all the electronic waste that is dumped, only 40% will get recycled and be used again.
Number 4.
In 2009, discarded TVs, computers, peripherals including printers, scanners, fax machines, mice, keyboards and cell phones totaled about 2.37 million short tons.
Number 5.
A large number of what is labeled as e-waste is actually not waste at all, but rather whole electronic equipment or parts that are readily marketable for reuse or can be recycled for materials recovery.
Now we will get into the interview with an Indian resident who works at one of the e-waste facilities in India. We asked him questions about the environment he lives in and also how the recycling progress works. Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live and where you come from, just so we get know you before the start of the interview.
Hello Simon, I am currently 32 years old and I have lived in India my whole life, and right now I live near Mumbai, pretty close to one of the recycling facilities.
For how long have you been living there?
Several years I think.
And for those years you lived here, would you say the environmental issues have become more of a problem since you first visited Mumbai?
Oh yes, over the years all the waste that has been washed up at the beach probably doubled, if not more.
Do you think it's going to be even worse?
I hope not, but right now it looks like it's going to be. If people don't stop throwing away their stuff carelessly, then it's going to be a lot worse. I have seen that the beaches in America are so clean because of tourism, so they become attracted in going there. But here, no one cares about cleaning it, and I'm not talking about e-waste only.
I see. So that it's going to be a major problem for our future.
Yes, indeed.
Would you share some of the techniques the way recycling works?
I cannot do that. That is not within my contract.
Oh, well then there's not a lot more to ask about. Thank you, Odash, for your time and your answers.
No problem. Bye bye. So Simon, that was an interesting interview. And what do you think about this whole topic?
Personally, I think it's a problem that we can't overlook any longer. Either we step up our game or we have to accept the consequences. What about you?
I'm kind of thinking the same, so I'll probably start to care more about recycling in the right way. Before we get to our final conclusion, let's have a look at some of your comments and what you think about it.
We picked out 3 comments that all share different view to us and our modern society. So the first comment says, "So you guys talking about all that stuff, but in reality it doesn't go the same way with your company. I mean, that's kinda ironic."
I mean, yeah, it is, but we're only here to explain the whole topic to you, and since we're only employees, we just can't change everything to our favor. So the next one says, "I'm Joanna, and I personally think it's horrible the way we dump our stuff. Right now, I am living in a less electronic environment lifestyle, and I have to say I don't miss my old life much, where I used to buy all the new stuff on the market. This lifestyle sure doesn't seem easy to accomplish, but I think everyone can do it."
Thanks, Joanna, for your comment. We think this is a good way of improving the way we should live. Yet, I have to admit it will be mostly impossible for some, because that's how they earn their money for a living. Still a good idea though. The last one is kinda negative. He says, "Why should I care about e-waste when clearly most of the population doesn't care at all?"
I think it's not wrong to ask that question, but that is not the right way of thinking. If everybody would think the same way you do, humanity would have met its demise a long time ago. This sounds kinda hard, but it is the way it is. What do you think about this negative comment, Simon? I by myself think it's time for a change.
Me too. And to all our listeners out there, we think and want to do the same. We as a single human cannot change much, but if everyone started to do care at least 50% of the whole population, then we can achieve something great for us and our planet.
Well, nice view on that. That's it for today's podcast then. Be sure to check out our next podcast on Saturday on 16 a.m.
And don't forget to go on our website to vote for the next topic we should discuss and investigate. Also leave a comment to discuss with us and other people all around the world.
I'm Julian.
And I'm Simon.
And we'll see you next time on VH1 Podcast.